Welcome, everyone. My name is Denise Griffin. I'm the Skills Lab Coordinator for the nursing program at Northlake College and HPRS instructor at El Centro. We're going to talk about descriptive links. In this video, I'm going to show you some quick and easy strategies for making the links in your digital content more accessible for people with disabilities and more readable for everyone. I'll also give you some tips for improving the way you share links in print materials. To demonstrate why link format is important, here's a quick challenge. I'm going to show you a link, and just based on the link text, you're going to predict what it links to. Ready? Here we go. What happens when you click this link? https://www.dccd.edu/au/fastfacts/legal/accessibility/guidelines/pages/descriptivelinks.aspx. If you guessed, based on the various keywords in the URL, that it takes you to a page on the DCCCD website that talks about accessibility guidelines and descriptive links, you're correct. But would there be an easier way to get that message across? One that doesn't require reading through quite so many parts of a web address? Of course there is. When you copy and paste a link from your internet browser, it probably looks like this long URL. In this format, a link takes up a lot of space, both on the page and in terms of the mental energy you will need to read and interpret it. That's why it's fairly common for people to change a long link to a generic statement like "click here" or "learn more." The only problem is "click here" doesn't give much information about what clicking here will do, and "learn more" on its own doesn't tell me what I'll be learning more about. That's why the gold standard for hyperlinking is the descriptive link. This third link, which reads, "Learn about descriptive links," goes to exactly the same place as the two other links on this slide. It just does a better job of describing where clicking the link will take you. So, why be descriptive? Well, as you saw in our example, descriptive links improve the reading experience for everyone by providing a clear, concise description of the page they will load. With that context, any reader can tell right away what the link is and what clicking it will do. It also makes it easier for everyone to skim the page for content. A page with a bunch of full URLs looks like a textual traffic jam and will really slow the reader down. A page full of click heres is less visually complicated, but you'll still need to read all the surrounding text to find out which here you will need to click. In contrast, links that are meaningful descriptions make it easy to skim and find the right link right away. And that's especially true for screen reader users. If you've never encountered a screen reader before, it's a type of text-to-speech software that reads all of the text and text-based elements of digital content out loud, including the words and characters in a full URL. I'm going to play you a short example so that you can get a sense of that experience and of what descriptive and non-descriptive links sound like in this context.
Screen reader example. This is an example of the JAWS screen reader. A screen reader is an assistive technology that takes text like the document you see on your screen and reads it aloud as you can hear in this example. Learn more. Visit link https://webaim.org/techniques/screenreader/number out to learn more about how screen readers read content. Things to consider. Was that long link a little annoying to listen to? Definitely. That's why instead of the full URL, it's better to use a descriptive link like this one: link learn more about screen readers.
Listening to that screen reader's robot voice read out the long URL seemed like cruel and unusual auditory punishment, right? So, at the very least, we want to use descriptive links to prevent screen reader users from having to suffer through that. In addition to reading out text in the order it appears on the page, Screen readers can also pull up a list of only the links in a document or web page and read them aloud for the user to help them navigate to specific content. And that's a way more useful feature when the links are descriptive than when they're all long URLs or repetitions of the phrase, "click here." Now you know why to create descriptive links. Let's talk about how to create them and a few common applications, starting with Microsoft Office. If you already have long URLs or click heres in Word documents, PowerPoints, or Outlook emails, it's easy to change their display text to something more natural and meaningful. For example, here's a long link in the text of a Word document. To make the link descriptive, I just hover my mouse over the hyperlink, right-click, and choose Edit Hyperlink. Mac users, you may need to right-click, select Hyperlink from the menu, and then select Edit Hyperlink. Then, in the Text to Display box, I'll type the descriptive text I want to use for the link. In this case, it will be the Accessibility Checklist, Descriptive Links, and then I'll click OK. Once I do that, the text will be updated the way I specified. If I didn't already have a hyperlink in my document, I could create one by selecting the text I wanted to turn into a link. Then I'd right-click again and choose Hyperlink. This time, the text to display would be automatically filled in, and instead I would need to enter a URL in the address box. Then I'd create the descriptive link by clicking OK. That same process will work in most Microsoft products. The exception is if you're using the browser-based version of Outlook rather than the desktop version. If you're not sure which one you're using, here's a screenshot of the desktop version on a Windows computer. And here's a screenshot of the browser-based version in Firefox. Instead of right-clicking to create or edit a link in this version of Outlook, you'll need to select the text and then click the Insert Hyperlink icon. You may also need to expand the text formatting toolbar to see this icon. To do that, click the triple dot icon on the far right side of the toolbar. Once you click the hyperlink icon, you'll see the same text to display and web address fields as you did in the previous example. Edit one or both, and then click OK to save your descriptive links. Creating a descriptive link in a content item in eCampus is very similar. First, you select the meaningful word or phrase you want to turn into a link. Then click the Insert Edit Link icon in the text editing toolbar. Next, paste or type the full URL into the link path field. And finally, click Insert to add the link. If you use applications in G Suite, like Google Docs and Google Slides, you can create descriptive links there as well. Start by selecting the text you want to link, then click Insert in the menu. Choose Link from the menu to create the link settings. In the text field, you can make edits to the descriptive text for the link. In the link field, enter a URL. Then click Apply to finish the process. To update an existing link, just select the link text and click Insert in the menu again. Choose Link to access the link properties. Make any edits you want to the text and link fields, then click Apply to save your changes. A tip about materials that will be distributed in hard copy as well as digitally. It can be helpful to include the full text of the URL along with the descriptive link. Here's an example of a descriptive link accompanied by a URL for mixed digital and print distribution. First, we have the hyperlinked descriptive text, DCCCD Accessibility Checklist. Afterwards, the full URL is included in parentheses. However, notice that the full URL is not a clickable hyperlink. This is to keep it from showing up twice in the link list for screen readers and to keep it from being listed as a non-descriptive link in an accessibility check. If the full text of the URL is very long and you want to include it on a print document, you can use a URL shortener to create much shorter links to the same content. For example, the URL I just showed you was a short link created by our district web team. Here's the actual full URL of the accessibility checklist for comparison: www.dcccd.edu/au/legal/accessibility/guidelines/pages/default.aspx. The short link would be much easier to read and also to type into an internet browser, right? If the page you want to link to is a district or a college page, you can ask our district or college web teams to create a short link to it. If the page is external to DCCCD, you can use a link shortening tool like bit.ly or tinyURL to create custom short links yourself. Bit.ly, for example, is currently the most popular URL shortener. Once you create a free account on bit.ly.com, you can easily create a short link by pasting in a full URL and then copying the short link that bit.ly generates. You can even customize the back half of the short link so that instead of a randomly generated series of numbers and letters, it forms meaningful text related to the link topic. And one final tip. If the material you want to distribute, both digitally and in hard copy, has a number of links in it, you may want to create a single short link to the entire document or page rather than creating a short link for each link individually. That way, your readers only need to manually enter one URL. So now that you've learned some technical steps and tricks for creating descriptive links, let's recap the big ideas about why they're important from an accessibility perspective. First, using descriptive links will dramatically improve the experience for people who are using assistive technology, like screen readers, to access your content. This would include people who are blind, people who are visually impaired, and people with certain types of learning disabilities, for example, dyslexia. Second, any person reading your content is going to get a better sense of context from a descriptive link. That context will allow them to quickly understand what the link is and what clicking it will do. And finally, a page full of clear, concise, hyperlinked descriptions is much easier for everyone to skim for the information they want, which will make your content more usable and effective for reaching your entire audience. And that's the great thing about descriptive links. They're essential for making your content more accessible for people with disabilities. But taking an extra few seconds to follow this best practice is going to improve the user experience for everyone. To learn more tips for creating accessible materials, visit DCCCD's full accessibility checklist at dcccd.edu/accessibilitychecklist. The checklist includes descriptive links, but it also covers 9 other best practices that will help make your materials accessible to people with disabilities and more effective for everyone. You can also access the links to resources I've mentioned by viewing this PowerPoint online. Just use the short link dcccd.edu/A11Y-15 to access this presentation as well as all the others in the 15-minute accessibility video series. That's all I have for today. Thank you very much for listening, and be sure to check that checklist.